Today, we explore the profound significance of numbers in our lives, uncover the secrets behind their hidden meanings, and learn how numerology can offer valuable insights into our personalities, relationships, and destinies. Get ready to dive deep into the mystical realm of numbers and unlock the mysteries they hold. Welcome to Let's Be Briefed. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Sydney.
And today we're talking about numerology. You know about it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love
I don't need to
numerology.
ask. Yeah. Well, yeah, I've been wanting to get into like astrology-esque items, so this is the first episode.
Yeah.
We'll probably have more. But like numerology, I
Yeah.
feel like it's easier to
Right.
first, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, consider this week a numerology primer. And I don't want to dive like super deep into it. We're going to talk about me and Sydney's numbers, basically.
Yeah.
And like just the basics too. But first, okay, so numerology is the belief in an occult, divine, or mystical relationship between a number and one or more coinciding events. It is also the study of the numerical value of the letters in words and names. When numerology is applied to a person's name, it is a form of onomancy, which I'd never heard of before, but
Me either.
it's often associated with the paranormal alongside astrology and is similar to divinatory arts. The term numerologist can be used for those who place faith in numerical patterns and draw inferences from them, even if those people don't practice traditional numerology. So, like, for example, mathematicians could be considered numerologists, even if
Oh.
they don't believe the whatever mystical side of it, I guess.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah. But there's a long history of numerology, and one of the first references is in the 8th century BCE. There was an Assyrian inscription that said, "The king built the wall of Khorsabad 16,283 cubits long to correspond with the numerical value of his name." That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Um, but there's also angel numbers, which is a series of repeating numbers like 555, or a series of digits that continuously come up like 1418 or like whatever, but like that you keep seeing. And these are thought to be messages from your guides or guardian angels trying to get through to you during times of need or change. I don't know if you want to talk about yours.
Yeah. I mean, I've literally been seeing, like, in the past couple weeks, like 111, 222, 555 a lot.
Yeah.
I see 9/27, which is my birthday, like all the time. Like all the time.
I
And
see
that
mine
means
too,
guardian
actually.
angel.
Oh, if you see it on your birthday?
Like, no, 9/27
Oh,
is
okay.
the angel number for guardian angels.
Oh,
So apparently
that's
I have a
cool.
guardian angel, which I was told recently. So,
Yeah, nice. I do see 1014 a lot. I forget what it means though. I think it means I need to like do new things, I think, because there's two
oh.
ones and a zero, so. Um, but yeah, for me, I usually take note of numbers that repeat within like a small time frame. Like I had one example from when I was in Denver in 2019, so this is old now. But like I was thinking about my budget and like where I was gonna live when my rent came up and stuff. And then I was in line at the airport to buy a pack of gum and like a snack or something, and my total was 538. And right when the cashier said 538 on the intercom, it said flight 538 was ready. So I was like, that's a sign. And I looked it up and it said like financial gains and stability are coming. So like I took that to be like I don't need to worry about anything.
Oh
And then I
my
bought my
god.
house in 2020. So
Oh my god.
well yeah, I'd say we both believe in this.
Yeah, like a lot.
Yeah, you can make fun of us if you want, or you don't have to believe, but just hear us out.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, first I thought let's go through like each number's associations before we dive into like me and you. So like zero, there's like a lot, and I guess I'll just read them though, but zero represents wholeness, inclusiveness, comprehensiveness, infinite potential, but also could represent limitation, endlessness, and idealistic expectations. So there's like positive and negative connotations.
Oh, I feel like I've never looked at the negative ones. Oh my god, now I have to start looking at the negatives.
Well, I feel like usually they're positive messages though,
Yeah.
but I guess they could do represent some negative, I guess. One represents leadership, bold, courageous, creative, determined, ambitious, pioneering, but also egocentric, overbearing, repressive, indolent, and weak. Two represents cooperative, sensitive, balanced, responsible, loving, patient, modest, supportive, intuitive, but also could be rude, weak willed, sly, gullible, shy, fearful, and argumentative. There's a lot. I don't know if this is helping with our credibility, but
I don't think we've ever been known as being credible.
that's true, yeah. Three is optimistic, verbal, creative, expressive, sociable, happy, amusing, but also superficial, scatterbrained, boring, deceitful, whining, and gossipy. Four is stable, grounded, calm, pragmatic, disciplined, organized, cautious, but also dogmatic, crude, impatient, incompetent, and overly dominant. I feel like the positives are like if you're in your highest self
Positive.
kind of thing,
Yeah,
and the
yeah.
negatives are if you're like too,
Low vibe.
yeah. Five is freedom, enthusiasm, clever, sensual, adventurous, prolific, but also rash, impulsive, trite, undirected, indecisive, and hyperactive. Six is nurturing, responsible, dutiful, kind, stable, devoted, generous, intuitive, philosophical, but also intolerant, disconnected, jealous, dictatorial. I can't say that word. And dogmatic. Seven is analytical, mystical, introspective, prepared, wise, but also aloof, cynical, superficial, fussy, cold, and secretive. Eight is prosperous, strong, self reliant, intelligent, clever, tasteful, but also materialistic, intolerant, unforgiving, dogmatic, unscrupulous, and lethargic. And nine is compassionate, tolerant, benevolent, intuitive, humanitarian, mystical, charming, idealistic, but also selfish, impulsive, intolerant, insensitive, effusive, and resentful. So that's the numbers.
Wow.
For numerology to apply to yourself, there's a couple different things you can consider. So a few take into account your name, and then two like deal with your birthday. So I'll start with the ones that are supposed to like tell you about your personality. Um, so for these, I ran for me and Sydney, and we can discuss if we think they're accurate for us or not. Because I don't know if you've looked at all of them for yourself before.
No, I've only looked at the life path number.
Okay. Yeah. And there's links in the description for like all of these, like if people want to calculate for themselves, since we're not going to go into all the numbers. But the first one is life path number. Life path number is where you add up your date of birth. So mine is 1 and Sydney is a 7. And life path 1 is the path of the pioneer. It teaches the importance of believing in yourself, your need for independence. You want to lead your own life on your own terms and are perfectly able to take care of yourself and get what you want. And represents progress, which implies that one at a time steps must be taken, which lead to higher goals. And each step is a goal in itself. And you're knowing what you want and how to get it can result in the achievement of large scale ambitions and recognition. And others may see you as self centered or insensitive and may resent your positive drive. And self centeredness is inevitable because the self is precisely what you came into this lifetime to learn about. You must learn to appreciate who you are and accept that some opposition from others is inevitable. And with self-centeredness becomes self-awareness, and then self-acceptance, you become more comfortable in your role of leader and or pioneer, and others will be less inclined to react against you. And the one life path provides the physical and mental energy which keeps you busy and attracts you towards action. You must lead your own life without the constant influence of others. So that's mine.
I feel like that's really accurate for you.
Yeah, I think so, especially lately.
Yeah.
Like, that's all I can think about is like freedom and doing things my own way in my own time and whatever. But so for Sydney, life path 7 is the path of intelligence. Your quest for knowledge is the main factor behind everything you do and everything that happens to you. You are the reality seeker who will accept nothing but the truth, and until you recognize and accept that the attainment of wisdom is your very purpose for being here, you may be left confused and frustrated by the actions and attitudes of other people. People on the 7 life path are seeking perfection, but in this imperfect world, you can only aspire to what is perfect for you. And even when you have found your perfection, you will soon discover its flaws and become dissatisfied again. And you look for flaws.
Yep.
You may want to remove yourself from the fray of everyday life, but others see this as aloofness or secrecy and find you difficult to get to know or even approach. There's a strangeness about you which others may find unnerving.
Yep.
But this is a natural part of who you are. When you try to gain acceptance by acting normal, you can alienate others because you come across as shocking, vulgar, judgmental, or just plain awkward.
Yep.
When you become comfortable with your differentness, others realize this is actually your uniqueness, that thing that enables you to stand out from the crowd and be remembered. 7 brings mystique to your personality, and you intrigue people, and you like to be intrigued too. I'd say that's accurate, yeah.
Yep. Very accurate.
Yeah, so far accurate from the 2 people that are biased. But for the next ones, they involve using your name, like your full name. And there are 2 main ways to figure out a number for that, and that's either the Pythagorean or the Chaldean version, which I did not know there were 2 versions.
I didn't either.
Yeah, but I guess the Chaldean doesn't use the number 9, as 9 is viewed as too sacred to use. So, like, that's the main difference. The Pythagorean uses like 1 through 9 for all the letters, and the Chaldean uses 1 through 8. So I did both for both of us, and we can compare and see which one we think is more accurate.
Okay.
But first is the family number, which is where you add up the numbers just for your last name. So mine for Pythagorean is 1 and for Chaldean is 4. So the one family came together in this lifetime to learn about independence, originality, individuality, masculine energy, change, ambition, and leadership. They have a strong competitive streak. Originality and independence from peer pressure are essential. They like to be first, and each generation can usually boast a family member who is first in something big. Or the 4 family came together to learn about success through effort, hard work, order, tolerance, detail, and overcoming limitation. This family has tendencies which can seem odd and unusual, yet they tend to be very serious in their approach to life. They believe there's a proper way to do things and that their way is the proper way. So, like, between those 2, I would say my family's more like a 1.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't really know how like everyone else, because that's like your dad's side of the family is like my last name,
Oh,
and I don't talk
right.
to them.
Oh.
So I don't know if like I think there's a couple like firsts in the family. I guess I don't know about
Yeah.
everyone, but 4 doesn't really make sense to me for that. But for you, your Pythagorean is 3 and Chaldean is 7. So the 3 family are learning about child development, happiness, friendship, humor, appearances, illusions, creativity, beauty, innocence, communication, and the power of words. This family have come together to learn how to communicate honestly and constructively. There's something unique about the voices of this family. However, circumstances can create enforced silence so that certain issues cannot be discussed or even mentioned. The feelings involved become trapped, and conversation is then limited to small talk, trivia, gossip, hearsay, and argument simply for the sake of being right. or the Seven family, which came together as so that its members could learn about spirituality, the inner self, introspection, reflection,